First of all, I want to talk about the ingredients for the pound cake that we're going to make today. We have 3 sticks, which is 1.5 cups of pure butter, unsalted, and it is at room temperature, as well as 1 block of cream cheese that is in room temperature. 6 eggs that have been cracked, and they are at room temperature as well. We have 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. We have 3 cups of sugar. And now we're going to measure out our cake flour. So I'm going to sit a bowl and my sifter up there and hit the 0, which I had already done. And we're going to actually put 3 cups of cake flour. I've done my calculations. If 1/4 cup is 28 grams, 1 cup is 112 times 3 cups is going to be 336 grams. So I have the grams set to kilograms here. And we're going to start putting in the sieve that I have where I sift my dry ingredients. Let's see. And I'm going to pour it, since I've got it started, into the sifting agent. And we want to hit 336. Come on down. It's doing a good job. 300. I'm almost there. Come on, baby. A little bit more. That's 337. I'm going to give it to it. We're not going to worry about that one tiny little gram. And I'm going to hold this and sift it with both hands. So bear with me a second. I'll sift it and come right back. I have sifted down about half of that. To that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to sift that in the rest of the way and then whisk it to mix. And all I'm doing here is holding my hand steady and just tapping it into my hand. And you'll end up with a few little balls of flour that aren't going to go in. You just want to discard them. Always make sure you're sifting into a larger bowl than what the base of your sifter is. And you're still going to have some that flies off, hence the extra gram. It's not going to make a difference. But I'm just going to use a whisk to whisk this all in to incorporate that salt and baking powder everywhere. And then we have our dry ingredients in one place that we're going to use later. The pound cake is based on whipped butter that you want to slowly mix in. And you're going to turn this sucker probably to a level 6 or 7. And you're going to beat this, and I'm keeping it down so you can hear me. We're going to beat this about 4 or 5 minutes until it changes colors. It's actually going to get lighter and it's going to be very fluffy. You're incorporating air to make this pound cake light. At this point, after beating about 4 or 5 minutes, and it actually is a lighter yellow color, we're going to add our cream cheese and beat for about 2 more minutes. At this point, we're going to add our sugar. And I add about half of the sugar. It's 3 cups of granulated sugar. And I mix that in until I can't see it. And then I'll add the other. And then we're going to beat for another minute to incorporate. We're constantly building air. Okay, that minute has gone by. We're going to scrape the sides and scrape the beater. I have scraped everything down, and I'm scraping my spatula here to get everything off. Now we're going to add these room temperature whole eggs. They're large. The eggs, we're going to add one at the time until we can't see them. One. And we're going to beat about 15-20 seconds until it's incorporated. We always start off slow and work our way after the yolk's broken a little faster. That last egg is gone, and I'm going to drizzle this fourth a cup of vegetable oil that will add moisture. You're not going to see this in a lot of cakes. This is just a little tip that I have. We're going to beat this until it's all incorporated. About another 30 seconds to a minute on medium-low. Now we're going to start adding our dry ingredient, which is the flour mixture with the salt and the baking powder that we added earlier and sifted. So I'm going to put half of that and very slowly pulse like I showed you. I cut it on for a few seconds and off until, because I'm trying to avoid what just happened, the blowback of dry flour. Okay. Now I'm going to add the rest, because when we get to the very end and we're adding the flour, we want to mix it the least amount that we have to. Okay, scrape down the sides at this opportunity as well, and we're going to do this one more time too. We're going to pulse that last little bit of flour in. Mix it until it looks like a batter again. Stop it. Scrape it down one more time. Scrape that beater down. Make sure we get all that flour out so we can get it in our batter. Now, I'm going to add the extracts. A pound cake is plain until you add the extract. I'm adding 2 teaspoons of a very good premium vanilla Madagascar bourbon extract. If I was just doing vanilla, I'd add 3 teaspoons, which is equal to a tablespoon. Then I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of pure, real almond extract, and this gives it a beautiful, wonderful flavor for a cake. If you don't like it, don't use it. Blend no more than 30 more seconds at medium low. Then we're going to put it in this pan. The batter is done. We're going to take out this beater, scrape it out, and transfer all of this to our pan evenly. Let's put it in the pan. What I have here is a Nordic Ware pound cake and angel food pan. Actually, it's an 18 cup capacity. And I've used my cake release and I've brushed it all over. You do not want to chance anything that's this expensive to make. As much butter and flour and sugar that you've got. And we're going to gently just kind of let it fall out of the pan. The mixing bowl into the pan. We're carefully pulling it around to not leave any gaps. We're going to put in the rest of this. I got all of it out, and I am smoothing it back and forth using my famous zigzag pattern to distribute it on both sides. Back and forth, back and forth. And once I carry it all around, note where the batter is. There's still a good probably 3 inches of this cone in the middle left. Let's see where it ends up after we finish baking it. We're going to put it in a 325-degree oven, and I'm going to check it in 1 hour and 10 minutes. There's about 20 minutes left, and I just want to peek You do not open the door very much. Look how that's risen. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous! Quickly shut the door back and check it again in about 20 minutes. Now we're going to test it for doneness. We'll pull it out. And it's got cracks and it has risen a whole lot. We're going to insert a cake tester and it comes out completely clean, and that's what you're looking for. There's a few crumbs, but there's nothing liquid. So it's ready to come out. At this point, it's going to cool for about 10 minutes sitting in the pan, and it will contract and pull away from the edges, and then we'll turn it over. And here we have, ladies and gentlemen, the most gorgeous pound cake you've ever seen. Perfect on all the edges. It came out most gorgeous. And I can't wait for you to see what this becomes. But it has to cool, totally has to cool completely.